tearing my teeth?
No. Just checking.
I'm so tired. Hi everybody. Welcome to Half Messy Love, where I get to share with you my love life in the past, in the present, and how I'm praying for it to continue to go well in the future. Right, babe? Today's story is going to be about how you need to uplift your spouse and how I learned this early in our marriage. My husband and I were married for about a year before we got pregnant. We were in Boston and we were by ourselves without any family. I've talked about this before, but in this specific story, it's important. When we found out we were pregnant, it was very exciting and nerve-wracking, but that's okay because that's supposed to be normal. We didn't have family, we were gonna be by ourselves, but this was gonna be our first baby and this was gonna be something that we really get to do together and really test our relationship. Finally, our baby came, and for the first 3 months, we got to have family help out. And then after that, we were by ourselves. And, not having nighttime help because my husband had to go back to work was really hard. And I was nursing. Not only was I nursing, but I was having nursing issues. He was up every 2 to 3 hours. And when my husband would go to work, it would be just me and my baby by ourselves in our 900 square foot apartment in winter time. You can't go anywhere in winter time because then you have to bundle your newborn up and then unbundle. They hate it. So it wasn't even just worth going out. Needless to say, I was tired and I just needed to feel a little bit normal again. So when my girlfriends from church offered to have a movie night at the movie theaters, I was like, that's amazing. I would love that. But I had a newborn. So my husband saw that I really wanted to go out, but I felt like I couldn't leave my baby. He was still being nursed and I've never gave him a bottle. So I was very nervous, but I wanted to. And at that moment, I think my husband looked at me and he just knew that I needed to be uplifted in a way. Now, someone told me that when someone loves you, they uplift you. The way you know that you're in love with the person and that they're in love with you and that it's gonna work out is if they uplift you. Because if you both tear each other down or if one tears you down, that's not love. Love is when people uplift each other. And at that moment, my husband knew I needed to be uplifted and he said, why don't you go out? And I said, no, I don't deserve it. We're having nursing issues and I haven't even really been by myself with him that much. And he said, even if you don't feel like it, you should. So I took his advice and I closed the door and left my worries behind. Not really, it was always on my mind, but I knew I needed to go out. So we get to the movie theaters and they tell me that we're gonna be watching Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. I am not a Twilight fan. In fact, I did not like any of the movies, but it was an excuse to get out. It could have been a black and white film with no sound. I don't care. I needed to get out. I sat there, I watched the movie. I got a little excited because all the characters died, but they don't die. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. It's an old movie, so too bad. So I'm sitting there, not really enjoying the movie, but kind of enjoying the movie because I'm out. And even my girlfriend brought her baby, and the only reason why she brought him was because that's her fifth, okay? And obviously she couldn't leave the husband with 5 kids, so it's different. And this is not her first rodeo. It was my first rodeo. I needed to breathe. Actually, it sounds kind of bad because she has 5 and I have 1. The movie ended and I was so happy that I just had a little bit of time. I'm driving on my way back and I'm curious to see how my husband and the baby are doing. So I finally get to the apartment, take the elevator up and open our apartment door. And what do I find? I find my husband with the stroller and our baby in it walking in circles in our very small, like I said, 900 square foot apartment. And he had this face that had glassy eyes and he just kept on saying he wouldn't stop crying. He wouldn't stop crying. So this is the only thing that would make him stop crying. I felt so bad for him. I couldn't help but laugh, but also I just fell more in love with him at that moment. He never texted me. He was letting me have my time. He uplifted me when I was feeling at a low. And I saw that he got uncomfortable for me. And even though we were going through a hard time of dealing with our first baby, being in a new city, being by ourselves, it was such a wonderful moment in our love life because I got to see him sacrifice his mental state so that I could have a peaceful mental state. And even today in our marriage, he uplifts me and he teaches me to uplift him when he's down. And I think that's just what God shows us. And in marriage, I feel like that's what is one of the main pieces of the puzzle to make a successful marriage. That you both need to uplift each other, not only when you were dating, not only in your first year, but to the end. And I believe that my parents who have been married 40 plus years would say the same thing along with his parents who have been married for a long time. Uplift one another. That is how you show true love for one another. From my half messy life to yours, be sure to uplift your spouse when they really need it. It's been forever since we recorded. I'm tired and I really want to watch Bridgerton because I just watched like the first 10 minutes of it.
You watched 10 minutes upstairs?
I did.